The story begins at a Canadian airport. A father, Elliot, Music is traveling with his daughter, Ridley. They are traveling to another city because Elliot has to complete a business deal there. Ridley was a lonely girl without many friends. She had some pimples on her face that constantly bothered her. After a while, the flight arrives at the city they were going to. Upon arrival, Elliot and Ridley get into the car and leave as Elliot was already late for his meeting. On the way, Elliot thanks his daughter for coming with him and explains to her Music that she shouldn't and #39. Worrying too much about the pimples on her face and should stop touching them. Elliot explains to her Music that these pimples are completely normal. They appear on every teenager and #39's face. Ridley calms down a bit after hearing this. We then learn that her mother died some time ago. Music, and because Ridley didn't and #39 like being alone, she often accompanied her father to work to keep him company. Just then, the man Elliot was supposed to deal with called him. He angrily yells at Elliot because he was late for the meeting. Elliot apologizes and makes numerous excuses, but luckily the phone music network is down and the call is disconnected. Elliot breathes a sigh of relief and speeds up to reach the man and #39's mansion, but suddenly, an animal appears on the road and Elliot and #39's car collides with it. After the impact, the car spins and stops on the side of the road. After a while, when things calm down a bit, Elliot asks his daughter Ridley if she and #39's okay. Finding everything is fine, they both get out of the car to examine the animal that caused the collision. Ridley discovers it and #39's no ordinary animal, but a strange horse with a horn on its head, a unicorn. The most shocking thing is that blue blood is gushing from its wound. Elliot is furious as he and #39's already late for the meeting, but Ridley is Music astonished by the mysterious unicorn, having never seen such a creature before. Instantly, the unicorn and #39's horn glows with a yellow light. And without thinking, Ridley reaches out and touches it. As soon as Ridley touches the unicorn and #39's horn, she suddenly begins to see strange things. Sights she can and #39's understand. Everything blurs before her eyes, but then she hears Elliot and #39's voice and regains consciousness. She sees her father beating the unicorn. Ridley yells at him to stop, but Elliot ignores her and Dawson and #39's stop until the unicorn is completely dead. A short while later, they arrive at Mr. Odell and #39's mansion, where Elliot is supposed to finalize his deal. But the strangest thing is that Elliot had brought the unicorn and #39's corpse in the trunk of his car. Stopping the car outside, Elliot gets down and goes inside the mansion. There, he meets Odell and #39's son, Shepard, with whom he shakes hands and then greets Odell and #39's wife. Finally, Elliot comes to Odell and #39's room and apologizes for the delay. It is #39's then that he learns that Odell has a serious illness and is now in his final days. Elliot is making excuses to get Odell to forgive him. Just then, Ridley begins to remember everything that happened with the unicorn today. Odell notices this and asks Ridley if she and #39's okay. Ridley lies and says she and #39's perfectly fine. Just then, Shepard asks Ridley about the rash on her face. Elliot interrupts and tells Ridley to go to the bathroom and wash her face to feel a little better. In reality, Elliot was only saying this to get her out of there. Elliot didn't and #39's want Ridley to ruin his deal or tell anyone what happened. When Ridley got out, she kept glancing back at the car and seemed quite nervous. At that very moment, a palace guard was watching Ridley and sensed something strange. When she approached the car and looked inside, she became convinced something was amiss or perhaps something was hidden inside. Meanwhile, Ridley went to the bathroom and washed her face. But when she looked in Music the mirror, she discovered that all the rashes on her face had disappeared. When she looked at the towel, it was stained with Music blue blood, the blood of a unicorn. Odell was sitting with Elliot and told him that he had tried every treatment, but nothing had worked. Now he has given Music up and is waiting for death. Odell also reveals that he is making this deal to ensure the safety of his company and his family before he dies. He also entrusts Elliot with the responsibility of his son, Shepard. Ridley, meanwhile, is still Music astonished because all the spots on her face have almost disappeared thanks to the unicorn and number 39's blue blood. After a moment of thought, she realizes Music that the unicorn and number 39's blood is magical and can cure ailments in the human body. At that very Music moment, the unicorn and number 39's horn in Elliot and number 39's car begins to glow faintly. When Ridley returns to her father, Elliot, he tells her that she should meet Odell and number 39's family. Ridley refuses, but Elliot insists, Music telling her that this deal will be the biggest deal of his life. Ridley asks him about the unicorn, and Elliot says that if she agrees to his proposal and meets Odell and number 39's family, he will fulfill her every wish. But before they Music can finish talking, strange behavior begins in the car. As the unicorn inside Music begins to move, seeing this, Elliot immediately goes to Odell, apologizes, Music and explains that he must leave immediately. But Odell becomes angry and says that Elliot always fails to keep his Music promises. He explains that leaving now would be a great disgrace for him. Just then, a guard approaches Ridley and asks why she looks so nervous. Music Ridley is about to answer when a loud noise comes from Elliot and number 39's car. Everyone rushes out to see what happened. Suddenly, the unicorn comes back to life and starts tearing the car apart to get out. Seeing this, everyone present freezes in fear and shock as the unicorn and number 39's appearance was so strange and frightening. But at that very moment, the guard immediately shoots the unicorn and kills it on the spot. Elliot is utterly terrified and at a loss Music for words. He then tells Odell and his family everything that happened to them on the way and how the unicorn got there. Music everyone is astonished by Elliot and number 39's words. Then Ridley decides to tell the truth. She tells Odell that the unicorn and number 39's blue blood completely cured the rash on her face. Odell is surprised to hear this and asks Ridley if she feels anything strange in Music her body. Ridley says no, everything is perfectly fine. Ridley suggests they contact the animal organization to come and take the unicorn, but Odell refuses, saying that Music, if that happens, the government will misuse the creature, so he must handle the situation. At Music night, Elliot goes to his daughter and number 39's room to check on her. As soon as he sees Ridley, he asks why she and number 39's so sad. Ridley explains that when she touched the unicorn and number 39's horn earlier today, Music she saw some strange things. Elliot Dawson and number 39 believe her and says she must be hallucinating. He explains to Ridley that she shouldn't and number 39 dwell on these matters now Music because the most important thing is that they complete their deal. But Ridley was deeply troubled. She quickly gathered a little information about the magical unicorn, had kept it as a pet, but later, when they discovered its magical powers, they decided to Music kill it to gain its power. Sometime later, the unicorn came back to life and took revenge on everyone in that family. Reading this story frightened Ridley even more. Music, when she went to sleep, she began having nightmares. Ridley had a very strange dream. She saw herself running through the forest, but when she looked down, she found herself inside the unicorn and number 39's Music body. Ridley woke up in fear, unable to understand what was happening. As soon as she opens her eyes, some strange Music-looking men stand before her, tying her and her father, Elliot, up. It turns out they are scientists called by Odell to test Ridley and Elliot to determine the music effect the blue blood has had on them. Odell, extremely excited music by this and decides to conduct the experiment on himself. After a while, the doctors prepare the injection of music magical blood and inject Odell with it. Ridley, distraught by this, rebukes them and runs into the forest to find some peace. Meanwhile, when the scientists begin examining the unicorn, music they discover that its veins are still functioning. This means they could continue to music extract blood from it for a longer period of time. Ridley, meanwhile, is wandering music through the forest. As she walks, she feels someone watching her. She looks around, music, but no one is there. Terrified, she runs quickly and returns home. At night, Elliot goes to check on Odell and asks how he is music feeling. Odell says he is feeling much better and that the treatment is working. Hearing this, Elliot is overjoyed and wishes him a speedy recovery. Meanwhile, Ridley is still trying to gather more information about the magical unicorn. Odell and number 39's son, Shepard, spots her. Shepard decides to help Ridley. He gives her his printer so she can print out all the unicorn and number 39's photos and information and study them comfortably. When Shepard leaves after helping Ridley, his father Odell suddenly appears before him. He looks completely fine now. Odell immediately gathers all the doctors and orders them to extract music as much blue blood from the unicorn as possible so that he can always have the cure and use it himself. He also says that if this cure becomes public, music its price will skyrocket. But the doctor stops him and explains that this is impossible because this blood has a shelf life. After that, it becomes ineffective. Meanwhile, Ridley was terrified by what had happened to Odell a while ago, but she still mustered up her courage and returned to her research to music find out what was really happening to the unicorn. A few hours later, Ridley received some alarming information. She went straight to Odell and told him to listen carefully. Ridley explained that the medicine Odell had taken was very strong and effective, music, but if he overdosed, it could kill him. Ridley also explained that for centuries, people had been using the unicorn and number 39's blood music just as Odell was doing now. But each time their end was disastrous, as the unicorn would come back to life and kill them. As expected, Odell ignored any of her advice. He instead told her that he would show the unicorn to the whole world and that she need not speak about it again. Ridley was deeply music hurt by Odell and number 39's behavior. A short while later, Odell and number 39's wife followed Ridley, and GT, music and GT. She consoled her and said she would try to find a solution. Ridley then got into her car, angry and saddened, because even her father Elliot didn't and number 39's believe her and wouldn't and number 39's support her in front of Odell. Meanwhile, Odell and the other doctors prepared the unicorn. Music they packed it in a bag to take it out of the mansion and into the city. While Odell and the doctors were preparing to transport the unicorn, the power to the entire mansion suddenly went out. At that very moment, the device the doctors had music with them started emitting a very strong signal. This signal meant that the unicorn was still alive. Ridley, who was in the car, got out and looked music at the sky, seeing strange colors. Elliot immediately went to the doctors to find out what was happening, but none of the doctors were able to understand or music respond. Suddenly, one doctor died. He had been struck by a unicorn and number 39's horn. When Elliot looked closely, he realized that the one who killed music the doctor was another unicorn, not the one they had killed earlier. The guards fired continuously at the unicorn, music, but it had no effect on him. The unicorn was very powerful and began killing all the guards one by one. Elliot, seeing all this, immediately called out to his daughter, Ridley, Music telling her to get into the car and get away. As soon as Ridley got into the car, the unicorn pounced on her and charged at her with full force. The other guards tried to stop it with their advanced weapons, but to no avail. Ridley then got out of the car and ran for her life, but the unicorn chased after her and Music refused to let up. Finally, Ridley hid in a stable, but the unicorn arrived there, too. Music strangely, as the unicorn approached Ridley, he suddenly became quiet. His horn began to glow brightly. Music, and at that very moment, something strange was about to happen. Ridley gently touched its horn. Just then, a female guard arrived, and along with the rest of the guards, Music began firing at the unicorn. Eventually, the unicorn ran away, Music, and peace reigned. When the situation calmed down, everyone returned to the mansion. Ridley Music became furious with her father. She shouted that she had warned him many times, but he never believed her. Elliot still ignored her and always followed Odell. Ridley begged them to return the unicorn to his parents. She said this was the only way to stop everything, but no one there paid any attention. Music Odell decided the exact opposite. Odell decided to hunt down all these magical unicorns. Music he then formed a team of hunters and set out for the forest to capture unicorns. Elliot was preparing to follow them, but Ridley came to him and tried to stop him. She cried and begged Music him not to go into the forest, but as always, Elliot refused.